Understanding the word of knowledge and the word of wisdom. In considering these two gifts of the Spirit, there is a need to define them exhaustively first. Word of knowledge. The term, the word of knowledge with the acronym WOK, is the supernatural revelation by the Holy Spirit of certain facts in the mind of God. God keeps ever before him, in the storehouse of his mind, all the facts of heaven and earth. He knows every person, place, and things in existence. He is conscious of them all at the same time. That means God does not need to recall. He has all of them in front of him at the same time. Pastor TikToks. If God has to recall, that would be memory. But he is not using memory, he uses knowledge. He is all-knowing. That is why he is called omniscient. Everything is in front of him at the same time. Pastor Talks. Continuing further, the word of knowledge is the revelation to man by God's Spirit of some details of that all knowledge. God has all knowledge in front of him, but the word of knowledge is the revelation to man by his Spirit of some details of that all knowledge. It covers existence, condition, or whereabout of persons, objects, and place, of the location or occasion of some events. The word of knowledge is not a God-sent amplification of human knowledge, or what you know before that God is making clearer. It is not. The word of knowledge is a divinely given fragment of divine knowledge. It is not everything God knows that you are getting, but fragment of what he knows. That's why it is called a word of knowledge. Can know. It is so called because whatever God knows, you know a fragment of it. Divine knowledge is the knowledge of everything that God knows. Divine knowledge is all knowledge, anything in this world, that's divine knowledge. But for word of knowledge, what you're being given is a fragment of that divine knowledge. In describing the word of knowledge, someone may mention the word portion, but I would prefer to use the word fragment. Fragment is better and more appropriate than portion, because when you are using the word portion, you can say 20%, 10%, but fragment is simply minute. Interlude. Word of knowledge is very minute. I want you to compare word of knowledge to a single word in a book. Imagine a book that has 24 chapters, and in each of the chapters there are 15 paragraphs. In each of the paragraphs, there are 20 sentences. In each of the sentences there are over 50 words. 50 words in one sentence. And there are 20 sentences in one paragraph. And there are 15 paragraphs in one chapter. And there are 24 chapters in one book, and there are many books. I want you to remember that God has many books. Imagine, and God now gives you a word from a book, which is one among the many books that he has. With this, you can see that whatever you are given is a fragment, not a portion. So when you see somebody boasting that he is a prophet, because he can give a word of knowledge, you should know that the person is not wise. The word of knowledge is a divinely granted flash of revelation concerning things which were hopelessly hidden from the human senses, the mind, or the faculties of men. Please note that the WOK is not knowledge that may be acquired either by study or consecration. That should alarm you. From all that has been said so far, it is apparent that word of knowledge is the supernatural revelation by the Holy Spirit. A revelation to man by God's Spirit. Now, not a God-sent amplification of human knowledge, a divinely given fragment of divine knowledge, a divinely granted flash of revelation, cannot be acquired either by study or consecration. Having given some definition to the word of knowledge, let us proceed to consider the other one, word of wisdom, in the part 2 of this video.